My name is Ruckus. Thanks for joining me. Please like, subscribe, and share. 10-8. Hey, how's everybody doing? Excuse me. Can you hear me okay? See me okay? No problemos? See if we can bring some of this chat in here. There we go. Hey, Night Shadow, how are you, dear? Sleuth says that I look like the detective from a show called The Wire. My son told me to watch The Wire, but I didn't watch it. But Polly Night Shadow, Sleuth, my man, how you doing? This account, Purdue RN, what's up? How are you? Jill Moser, D, hope you're feeling better, dear. I know you've been a little under the weather lately. TTM Fangirl, what's shaking? The infamous Jinxie, hi Jinx. Miss Thang, 65, what's shaking? Kib Kitty in the house. Jari in the house. Julianne in the house. What's going on, everybody? Just wanted to finish up a little bit of our conversation about this Delphi stuff. I guess there was some false information that got out today. That I guess it was somebody else named Richard Allen. People were looking at the wrong case, I guess, thought that he was changing his plea. But that's what happens when there's really nothing going on. It happens. That's why I like to wait. I don't jump the gun. I'd rather be factual than first. It doesn't always happen, though. We all get excited. I'm not blaming anybody. If it looks like something new has happened in the case, people jump all over it, so I can certainly understand that. Okay, yesterday I started off with, does anybody think that Richard Allen is not the bridge guy? Today, what I would like to do is look at the circumstances of that day, February 13, 2017. There's been some different reports, different theories, different causes, different effects about what actually happened that day with the family, with the girls, with the potential POIs. It's been a whole lot going on. Good evening, Lee. How are you? Now, we know the girls got dropped off at the Mears entrance. We know that for sure. The time that they got dropped off is sketchy at best. If you go by what Kelsey says or you go by what the PCA says. What's up, LA? Cornbread face. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, LA. For those of you that don't know LA, he has his own channel, LA Wilkes, Thin Black Line. He put out a video this morning. It's fantastic. It's polarizing. You need to go watch it. It's a great video. He needs more views on it. Needs some more views. It's a great video, though. It's fantastic. Go check it out when you get a chance. You won't be sorry. It's about a good case. And he has some fantastic guests as well. His guests are top-notch always. Jinxie was there. She can tell you. But, yeah, go check that video out. Those of you, everybody here I already know, is subscribed to Sleuth, sleuththebomb.com. Need to check him out as well. We need to get Jinx to start a channel. That's what we need. Nobody will be able to understand what she's saying, though, so that might be an issue. Yeah, I am funny. That's part of my mystique, is knowing the inside stuff. That's my mystique. Yes, he is great. Thank you very much. Steffa, what's shaking? Okay, now let's get back to the girls get dropped off, right? And they head straight to the High Bridge. Hey, sweet Caroline. They head straight to the High Bridge. Now, how long did it take them to get to that High Bridge? Have any of you guys actually walked that? Have you actually been out there and walked that path going from Mears to the High Bridge and know how long it should take just to walk it at a regular pace? You're not late, Boston. You're fine. How are you? But if they got dropped off at, say, just for round numbers, they get dropped off. Hey, Des, if they got dropped off at 1:30, just for round numbers, and they got to the bridge at 2, is that feasible? Does that meet a decent timeline if they were just walking slow and talking and being girls, taking pictures and such, trying to establish a timeline? Because with this muddy, bloody thing, it's really it's putting a wrench in the gear from what people have thought for a long time. 4 pit bulls in a toy hall across America. What's going on, man? He's here. You here to gnaw on me. There's a lot to gnaw on. There's a lot to gnaw on, brother. Yeah, the bridge is very long. It's like 800 some odd feet. It's pretty long. Okay, so my question is that about the same time, like soon after they got dropped off, Richard Allen appears on the Hoosier Harvester camera, correct? Heading towards the CPS building. Yeah, I'm gonna get with Steve about this stuff too. Steve's been out there. All right, so no more than 10 minutes at a slow walk. So I've heard 138, I've heard 148, I've heard all different times. The PCA gives a specific time as well. Let me take a look at that actually. And I'll bring this up if you guys want me to. I have the PCA, but I'm sure everybody's tired of seeing it by now. 2 were dropped off at 149. 149, if you speak English and you understand English, it's 149. So at 207 with that picture at the bridge, I mean that's pretty much in line, isn't it? Thank you, LA. I appreciate it. Got a $10 super chat. Don't say I never gave you anything. I'm still gonna say it. You know I'm gonna say it. You're stupid. Tell you what. Give me another 10, and I will. Another 10, and I'll stop saying it. Yeah, 20 would be meandering. But if they dropped off at 149, according to PCA, that's when it happened. And they got to the bridge at around 2-ish, around there. That's right in line. Now, where was Richard Allen at that time? He had already parked his car by then, and he was heading towards the High Bridge, correct? How are you, Danger Dave? Don't say shit about the Red Sox. I don't hear nothing about them Red Sox today. Okay, Slew says, Becky said they left around 1:30. It's an 8-minute drive from the Patty home to the Mears lot. PCA says Kelsey drove past the Hoosier Harvest store video at 1:49. Okay. So, I mean, that seems feasible then. That seems feasible. And at what time did Richard Allen pass the Hoosier Harvest store? That was at 1:30, correct? So just prior to that. And again, I can bring the PCA up. Let me pull it up on the side here for myself anyway. Just trying to establish where everybody was at the same time. I know that Sleuth put out a video, and Gray Hughes did a video that showed like dots of where everyone was at the same time. Yeah, Steve speaks very highly of you, Purdue. He said when he goes anywhere through there, he always comes and sees you. Speaks very highly of you. RA was already on the bridge when the girls got dropped off. Okay, so he got there at around 1:30. He drove past, parked, and he made it all the way down, and he was on the bridge, according to the woman who went for a walk from the Mears to the bridge. He was already on the first platform, right? That's the looking at fish. So he's already on the bridge. that woman sees him. She turns around, starts walking back, and she passes the girls who are heading towards the bridge. Not quite at the right turn to go back to the Mears drop-off point where she was parked at. Yes, thank you, Dee. Thank you for reaching out to mention him, please. And so they got, where did he go then? So she passed them heading towards the bridge. So where did he go? Did he continue on the bridge, or did the girls pass him? What do you guys think? Hey, Ron, how are you? Sweet Caroline, Lisa. But Kelsey also mentioned hanging out in the phone call for a few minutes before driving off. Okay, she was talking to her boyfriend. I'm sure law enforcement has verified that, and they got her phone records. They subpoenaed them, so they will know a little bit closer than we do. Stay with y'all, but I can't promise anything. Okay, Jill. Well, there's so many twists and turns, and there's so many different ideas of what happened. It's you have to talk about it. You have to get everybody's opinion and try and put them together. Jerry, what's up? Yes, go Celtics. I'm afraid though, because they've had a great season as well, and I'm sure I don't want them to get kicked out. This account, how are you? Okay, so let's get back to. I'm trying to keep up with the chat as well. So he's standing on the platform. That woman sees him. She starts walking back towards her car, and she passes the girls. Right? We assume she said there was two teens. We're making an assumption there, but it's a pretty good assumption that that's the girls. So what did Richard Allen do? Now, what he says he did was he looked at the fish for a few minutes, and then he walked back down the trail, didn't see the girls, sat on the bench for a while, and then he left, right? Now, we all know that didn't happen. So that's a lie. We know that for a fact, because nobody else saw him, and there was other people there. So that's not what happened. So from the first platform when he was seen to when the girls started the video of him. Okay, so what did he do during that time? What do you think Richard Allen did during that time period, from when he was seen on the platform until the girls started videoing? Do you think he went to the other side of the bridge? And the girls passed him. They passed each other like this. Let me see. Or do you think that he stood there and they walked past him at some point? I think they passed and they walked back up the trail a bit to be sure he had time to cross and catch up with them all alone before someone was around. And then moved them to a secluded area. That's what I'm gathering out of that. Yeah, well, we know that happened. Okay, so you think he was on the trail in front of the bridge towards the Ron Logan home. So he was off of the north side of the trail in the woods there. See, this is what we don't know. It's not super important, but it's something that I'd want to know. That'll show intent. Was he hiding? I always thought, when I first started looking at this, I thought the attacker came from the south side of the bridge. The girls are crossing the bridge, and he went across the bridge heading north and passed them and then turned around. But now I'm not so sure about that. Not so sure about that. Looks like BG has a fanny pack. RL's girlfriend stated that Ron Logan carried a fanny pack all the time with a gun in it. Yes, those statements were made, but there was no proof of that. So it's hard. It's hard, EJ. You're absolutely right, though. She did make those statements, and they could possibly be true, but we don't have anything that backs that up. That's the hard part, is something to back it up, some facts that we know. So, and with all the stuff going on in the courts here recently, looks like things are going to start rolling pretty quick. I think he saw them walk the trail, scouting the number of people, so he had time to cross. All right, now let me ask you this, too. Do you think that Richard Allen was tied to the Anthony Shots case? because he could have attacked that woman that saw him if that was his goal, to go out there and commit a crime like that. He could have attacked that woman. And yes, wife Lilith, tell you. Wife Lilith may have been sitting on the bench when the girls were dropped off and then watched them walk by, and witnesses missed him on their way back. Totally feasible. Totally feasible. Because this will show intent, depending on what he did prior to, However, there are other benches people didn't talk about in the woods all over there. I've never been, Holly, so there must be pictures, and there's tons of videos of that area where we could see that. Trust and justice. Let's say dropped off by 1:50, 10 minutes to get to the bridge in Abby's first time, so they crossed to where they were in 7 minutes. Is that feasible? I've never crossed the bridge. It seems it to me. Can you cross that bridge in just a few minutes? Is that something that can happen? Yes, subscribe to LA, please. Please and thank you. And Steffa, do you have a channel? I didn't know you had a channel. I'm going to have to sub to it. I didn't know you had a channel. Thank you, Des. Thank you very much. All right, so whether he was creeping in the woods or he was sitting on the bench, at some point he made contact with the girls, right? Now, if we believe what we've heard, that one of the girls asked, is that creepy guy behind me, or he's right behind me, which implies that they've seen him before. So it's not like they were walking across the bridge and then this guy comes hustling across the bridge. They'd seen him at some point. That's what I feel. Yes, good hump day is right. Slew says a 505 bench would be a good place to watch in plain sight. If they walk by the bench, he could have made a comment making him the creepy guy. Absolutely. That's my point. So if they had some kind of interaction with him where they got the creeps from him, we've all been there when we were younger. There was adults that just creeped us the hell out. I thought he hid behind, but the paperwork makes me think he was watching for others to be sure the coast is clear. If you put yourself in his shoes, okay, not the sick stuff, but if you were trying to get away with something, that certainly would be something that you want to do. You want to make sure that there's no other people around that can witness whatever you're up to. Steffa says, the day I met Ron Logan, we went down the wrong trail. I did not know anything about the case yet. That's pretty cool that you met Ron Logan. I'd love to talk to you about that. Would you come on sometime, Steffa? Would you come on live and talk to me about that? He started walking back towards witness 4. Okay, is that the lady that was walking at her lunch break? Like a deer's hunter's pouch. Yeah, it's hard to say in this picture. I mean, that could be a shirt tail, could be a pouch. It could be the front pocket / pouch of a sweatshirt that's hanging down. Because if you had a sweatshirt on with a gun in it or something heavy, it would hang down below the jacket. That's happened to me before. Without that being the intended thing. There are benches down the entire trail. Now, were there in 2017? That's the thing. In 2017, how many benches were there? This one's for you, LA. Please sub. Yep, please. And go watch his video from this morning. It's very good. It's a very good video. I think it's a possibility for connection, but as the days go by without another arrest, I'm more uncertain. That's why the muddy, bloody guy is so important to me, this count. If that goes away, according to PCA, the girls got dropped off at 1:49. Yeah, Sleuth said that at 1:49 is when she drove past the Hoover Harvest store. Jesus, that's hard to say. Camera got on video. But if the muddy, bloody guy, if that goes away, right? If that witness is incredible, or if it did, I don't know if I want to be sedated walking across that bridge, but yeah, digital, that's quite possible too, that he was communicating with his buddies. We don't know if anybody else is involved yet. But if there is, I think we're going to find out pretty quick, just from what's going on with the courts. And Holly says it's impossible for him to have seen Abby and Libby because there's no bench between the time witness seen him and then seen the girls. He would have had to pass the girls to get to the bench unless he crossed or what? Let me see. Okay, you didn't finish your sentence. I thought that I just clicked on it wrong. Yes, Dez and LA are doing a show Saturday together. You should check it out. It's very good. For pit bulls, that woman could have saved those girls. Abso-fucking-lutely. No doubt about it. And I'm sure that bothers the shit out of her. Poor Pitts. I'm sure it does. That's a horrible thing to burden with yourself with. He was going to attack witness 4 until the girls showed up. All right, so you think he was following witness 4 and then he saw the girls, so he headed back towards the bridge? That's absolutely feasible as well. Good point, Dave. You should be excited. LA's great to work with, unless your name's Ruckus. If your name's Ruckus, he's just going to fuck with you the whole time. Yeah, could have said or done something prior. Remembered he spooked one of the 3 girls in the beginning. Absolutely. One of the witnesses said that he just kind of growled at them. I got a creepy feeling right from this channel. Thanks. Love you too, Lisa. Love you, babe. Holly says, unless he took a side path to end a bridge to 501 where there's a bench. Now, he could have just went off the trail into the woods as well. And I hope that all of this shit comes out because it's interesting. It's very interesting. I mean, we're speculating here just already there's like 5 different things that are very plausible. Could have definitely happened. Please subscribe to Sleuth. Sleuth's a good man. I like the way Sleuth thinks. And he's a great GIF master. He uses GIFs in his Discord like a champ. Steffa always classes up the joint. She certainly does, doesn't she? At 4 Pitbulls, do you haul around dirt bikes? He's got a toy hauler. He could put a side-by-side in there. Toy haulers are nice. They ain't cheap either to get a decent one. This account says, at Lisa, after the Anthony Shots thing came out, I got a lot of suspicion just for this account, even though it was over a year since I came to YouTube and following Delphi. Damn it. And true crime, laughing out loud, sucked. 4 Pits, hiding behind a tree. That's absolutely plausible as well. I've heard that. I heard there was a picture. And I saw the picture, but I just couldn't discern whether that was a person or not. I think Gray Hughes tried to debunk that, and he may have, but I like what Gray Hughes does. I just can't stomach him for too long. He's a peckerhead. Holly says, no, it cuts you off and makes you wait. What does? Oh, I got you. I see where you're going with that. 4 Pitbull says, I think he was in the woods hiding in the northwest side. Somebody mentioned that earlier in this as well, 4 Pits. So that is not an uncommon theory. This account, that woman may have thought Libby Abbey were with the man. But I always watch. I'm a woman. Yeah, I agree. If I saw a creepy guy in that bridge and then I passed 2 teenage girls, I would take a second. Honestly, I think most of us would. If witness 4 would have crossed the bridge, she would have been a victim, in my opinion. She may well have been, but to me, it was not an accident that the girls were there at the same time that he was there. That was not an accident. That he contacted the girls, or somebody contacted the girls using the Anthony Shots, so they were targeted. That's the way I look at it. They were targeted. He wasn't out there looking for random people, I don't think. At this account, I remember telling someone you were legit from either something you said or if you called in. They thought troll name, and we were like, no. Now, did you go under a different name, this account, or is that always been your name? Okay, we got Margie. Hey, Ruck and all, glad to be here. Glad to have you, dear. It's nice to see you always. Rebecca, how are you? Hi, all. Letting you know that Indiana will now allow cameras in the court. Law changed yesterday. Right on. Now, is it still up to the judge? Can the judge say no cameras? That's what it's like in Florida. Cameras are allowed, but if the judge says no, then it's no. According to the first image that Libby took of the bridge, there is no one down at the south end. Agreed. Agreed, 100%. Hi, Olivia. How are you? V. Marie, what's happening? CCD, my man. What's going on, brother? You digress. Your mic is muted. Lisa, I think you and half of the country will be glued to that coverage. Holly says it was originally named the Snapchat murders. Yeah, I heard that as well. Jinxie being the social butterfly that she is. I watch Gray Hughes all the time. I'm a freak. No, that's fine. I just I don't like his attitude. He probably doesn't like mine either. So, but he's very intelligent and he does great work. I will never judge anybody on what my personal opinion is. If they're doing good work, they're doing good work. Take Sleuth, for instance. He's a jerk, but he does good work. Yes, Steffa, he does a lot of good things with the donations and stuff like that. He certainly does. He was the first person I watched, to be honest with you. Yeah, I am definitely going to subscribe to Steffa's. I did not know that she had a channel. That's embarrassing. Holly, you've been awful active lately. What's going on with that? What's up with that? I need to have you on a live. My guess is the prosecutor will ask for it and not be on the camera. They will try for it not to be on camera. Yeah, you're probably right. They got everything sealed up tight. But you never know. That may be their chance to shine. I hope they do. I hope they do. Willie D was shaken. Judge will probably say no cameras. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it one bit. But could you imagine how huge that would be? I mean, just the money that they would make off of that would be crazy. They could probably do pay-per-view, to be honest with you. This is my only account. I don't want this account as a name to start, but it was too long and I shortened it to something shorter and less negative, so it was just lazy. I think it's a great name. In my opinion, the girls didn't go to the bridge that day. They met Anthony Shots. I believe BP was accurate when she said it wasn't planned. Okay, that could well be. I heard somebody was talking about that they never went to the bridge. I think it was on Prof's channel, that they possibly could have been killed at home. And that's why they painted Libby's room. That's a little bit of a stretch for me. I'm certainly not going to point the finger at anybody in that family or related to them. I'm pretty sure they've been cleared by law enforcement. Even though law enforcement won't use those words, I think they've been cleared. They can do audio without camera. Yeah, that would suck. I want to see their faces. You know, I want to be able to read their body language when they're testifying. They would be stupid not to have it on camera. Too many people are trying to fight over getting into small courtroom. Yeah, you're right. That is a small courtroom too. I wouldn't mind going to just to be there, you know, just to check it out. It's going to be interesting, to say the least. To say the least. Okay, now let's get back to the muddy bloody thing. They didn't paint it for 5 years. Now, from what I understand, they said she painted it herself. They had a picture of a paint can on the floor near one of the closets or doors, saying that that's right where she left it because she painted the room herself. She got tired of waiting. Yes, thank you, Jinx. Thank you. It works for true crime too because there's accounts that differ or are cooperating. Thanks, Ruckus. I appreciate it. That's a good point about the courtroom size. It's a very good point about the courtroom size. But Steph is smart. She's very smart. Holly, I'm always loud, laughing out loud. You weren't around when you two went on a wife Lilith attack. I've heard about it. Trust me. Speaking of which, I texted with Noe today, and he's going to be doing a live with me soon. So if you want to come on, that would be awesome. I'm down for that. Do you think they tested DNA against RL? I'm sure that they got DNA from him. We don't even know if they have DNA from the crime scene. I would imagine they do. With that amount of blood and stuff like that, I would imagine that they do. There's got to be some kind of transfer. There's very small chance that there's no DNA. But we don't know what he had. I mean, he took everything he needed. He may have brought gloves with him. We don't know. It would be prudent to wear gloves, I think. Yeah, Lilith, shoot me an email, and I'll let you know how to contact me, and we'll set something up. I think that would be great to have both you and Noe on at the same time. But you can't tell him not to talk, deal? Let the man speak. God damn it. When I interviewed him, I didn't badger him, and I won't ever. But, I want him to be able to say what's on his mind. They had DNA as he was in jail for so long. Maybe. They just haven't mentioned it, Steffa. It's so frustrating, isn't it? William M. Salute, bro. Love the channel. I appreciate it. Thank you for your service. Hoorah! Muddy Bloody had reported after the girls were found because they thought they may have been lost or hurt. That would have been a huge flag for their safety and foul play or predator involved. Agreed. 100%. Welcome, William. Yes. V. Marie, it's starting to warm up here, so that makes me happy. Where's up here? Are you in Indiana as well? I'm in Florida. This is a background behind me, but this is what it looks like outside my house. It's crazy hot. Crazy hot here, always, all the time. There's like 3 perfect months weather-wise, and the rest of it's ridiculously hot. Ridiculously hot. Okay, I'm going to dedicate a whole show, but I want to talk to Sleuth first because I think he's locked in on this. The Muddy Bloody guy. Where was he seen? What was his options? Why did he go that way? Where exactly was he seen by the witness? Holly says, ha ha ha, I would never do that. He's a nice guy. I just want the integrity intact for Libby and Abby. We all do. We all do, babe. I would never hurt anything that would affect, I would never say or do anything that would affect the integrity. Not even by accident. I know my shit enough to keep my mouth shut. I heard Muddy Bloody witness was not credible. I heard that too. Almost immediately after the PCA came out and it was released who she was. If that is indeed who she is. The PCA, it's redacted, so we don't know who she is. Do they mention Muddy Bloody witness's car on the HHS video? Yes. They saw the Muddy Bloody witness's car pass, but they don't say. They say which way it was going. It was heading east, and they say which time, but they don't say if it was seen prior to seeing Muddy Bloody guy or afterwards. So we don't know exactly where on 300 that he was seen, and that's a big deal to me. Because if he is Muddy Bloody guy, and law enforcement does think he is, but with all the questions that are swirling around the witness, it's kind of hard to lock in on that. But if that is him, then yes, he could have definitely done it by himself. Semper Fi. You damn right, my brother. I'm freezing Ohio, 56 degrees. Not a fan of the cold. Moving to Ruckus's neighborhood. You ain't wrong. It's nice around here. I live in Homosassa, Florida, and it's perfect here, except for scallop season. Scallop season, it's loaded with people around here. But it's like an old Florida seaside village type atmosphere around here. It's really nice. It may be credible regardless of personal credibility if he was spotted on camera and they didn't tell us everything. Agreed. And there's a couple homes there, and I'm sure that law enforcement's already checked. I'm positive, but maybe they had cameras as well. Holly says, what if Muddy Bloody Guy witness is his daughter or wife? What if he called and asked him for a ride so he didn't have to go back to his car and made up a story about why he was muddy and bloody? Good point. I didn't think of that. I didn't think of that at all. That's a very good point. Steph, I thought you were going to Indiana to see if you can be Miss Flannel Shirt Guy. Oh, snap. No, she didn't. Yes, William. Justice for Abby and Libby. 100%. But the accent is New York. No. Boston. Boston. Do you ride around a golf cart in Florida? Yes. Yes, I do. Yeah, I'll tell you the whole story about that. It's pretty funny. We talked about it on the porch. I don't have a key because I kept losing it, so I just put an on-off switch, and I'll take it to Walmart, and I'll be checking out, and I have to keep looking out the window, make sure nobody steals my shit. But the reverse and forward switch is upside down, so you have to put it in reverse to go forward. So if anybody tries to steal it, they'll probably crash that shit into something. We have more than one bloody witness. Investigators were asking about a hitchhiker February 20th, 2017, not on 300, but closer to 25. That is correct. Now, I haven't heard anything since that, though, Sleuth. Have you? I mean, that's a good point to bring that up again, because the PCA doesn't say anything about that either. But I remember hearing that. Now, wasn't that from the same guy that saw the car on the side of the road as well, on his way to work early in the morning, and then later on in the day he saw it again? I never thought about flannel shirt guy. Brilliant idea. Brilliant. Does the flannel shirt guy even exist? You know? Stop. I'm in Canada and it's far from hot year round. In fact, I'm still wearing a wow. Hybrid. That is your passport no good or something, or you need a visa? Come to Florida, man. We got plenty of people from Canada and Florida. We call them snowbirds. They stay down here half the season and then they head back up north. They prepared that bridge for a jury. Yeah. I mean, they did a nice job with it. I thought they were going to do the whole bridge though, but they only went like 3/4 of the way, and then they put a platform there. Got to go in listen mode for a bit. Be back and chat if you're still on. If not, thanks for the live. Ruckus, you rock. You rock too. You're the bomb.com. William says salute to Sleuth. Damn, wrong again. That's all right. New York and Boston have kind of the same accents. They say water, and we say water. Yeah, we're really lazy with the ah. Ruckus, you forgot to turn off the commercials for your live. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. You can deal with it for the dough. She's in it for the dough, is that what we're saying? Was the Muddy Bloody a true confirmed sighting? No. It's on the PCA. Law enforcement is pretty sure that it's accurate, so I'm going to go with them. I just want to know where he was seen. What up, Kev? Dude, great job with those jackets for the kids. If you guys haven't seen the last shot that Kevin put out, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's a great version of Eye of the Tiger. Great song, too. Send our man some love. Yes. Yes. I'm broker than the 10 Commandments. Coach Kev, rock star. Kev is a rock star. Anytime he comes up in my chat, it gets blown up. Him and Sleuth, they shut shit down. And Frank Meister, which is nice. It gives me a break. Well, everybody's saying hi to them. I can scroll past some shit. I'm sure you understand that, Sleuth. Kelt, what's shaking? How you doing? Derek talked to some guy. Now, I need to talk to Four Pipples one day and have a serious conversation with him, because he actually knows some of these people. He knows their temperament. He knows their personalities. I'd love to talk to him for a minute. The hitchhiker question did spawn the rumor mill. The young bridge guy sketch could have come from this. Other witnesses who has yet to be named. That may well be. That person, sometimes witnesses unrelated to the case are CIs as well, so that they protect them. I just don't believe RA is that creeper on the bridge. Okay, so you don't believe he's bridge guy at all? At V. Marie, I think they should have left the memorial gifts. Yeah. Why did they take those away? I don't understand why anybody would do that, to be honest with you. Is the county trying to, wash this thing out of the way, make it go away? I don't like the fact that they took that little memorial down. Don't like that at all. I'm excited that Kelt's here too. Kelt's awesome. Great sense of humor. The other day when I went on Evil CJ's, first thing she asked me is if I need any garbage bags. I'm no good with LA. We're both dead inside. We're desensitized, and our sense of humor is horrible. But you either laugh about it or it eats you up inside, to be honest with you. I've always been a SEC fan. All these schools that had an opportunity to go to the SEC and didn't just tells me they're sissies. They know they'll get their ass whooped in the SEC. But yes, I like the SEC. I'm not a particular fan of any team. I used to like the Gators back in the day, but they're all great. They're all great. But Arkansas is a great program. Great program. Delphi case is fairly easy from the beginning to the POI. Diluted LE, and they have been going down rabbit holes ever since. You're absolutely right, dude. From all the stuff that I've read and all the stuff that I've seen, it doesn't seem that until this PCA, there wasn't a bunch of confidence in law enforcement. Well, now that they made an arrest, that put people back on their side for a hot minute, but that didn't last long. I agree, Digital. They should have left that whole thing alone. Juror impact on the community, leave it alone. Sparky Doo, what's shaking? Yeah, I think RA is bridge guy as well. We talked about that yesterday for a little while. To me, stick a fork in it. RA is bridge guy. He's not acting like an innocent man either. He hasn't even signed his right to a speedy trial. He should have been at trial already. And if he was innocent, he should have been. Yeah, game night's awesome. Game night's awesome. Family Feud is a riot. You guys crack me up. Holly says they specifically stated back in 2017 they caught the murder in camera between 1:39 and 3:30 p.m. And that's exactly what time RA says he was there. But Muddy Guy was seen at 3:49. They should have his pings. One day, I want to put to bed this whole ping thing. It's not that accurate. You can do a cell dump and you can get close. There's not enough towers there. Depends on traffic, weather, which dish it's hitting. I'm telling you, it's not that accurate. GPS is, but I don't think they had capability for GPS back then. Flannel Shirt Guy definitely does exist. There are early interviews with him, and yes, we Canadians love Florida. We are migratory creatures like the geese. Those Canadian geese, I don't mess with them. When I lived in New Hampshire and Maine, when I was in the Air Force, those things will tear you up. Tear you up. They're not afraid of anything. But Stefan making a big crock pot, cheesy broccoli. Oh, nice, Boston. Now I'm hungry. My wife cooks some steamed clams and shrimp and all that stuff. So I'm going to get some of that after this. I don't know if you guys like steamed clams with the bellies, but I do. That's what I grew up. That's what I grew up eating, and I didn't get this fat watching people eat. That's for sure. We have ordinance in our city about makeshift memorials. They have to be taken down after 30 days. Same in Florida. If you didn't, there'd be those white crosses on the side of the road everywhere. Everywhere. And to me, that's kind of morbid. 4 pits. There's only a few POIs that resemble BG. Agreed. Agreed. And like I said, Four Pits, I would love to talk to you sometime. To be honest with you, you can yell at me, do whatever you want to do. I don't give a shit. Let's get past that, and I'd like to talk to you about this case. Wait, what? They took the girl's memorial down? Yes, Steffa. Those pieces of shit took it down recently, last day or two. Yeah, if they didn't go over the old tips, or did they? Or did they? Did they get Richard Allen because Keegan Klein rolled? You know I think that. You know I think that the Wabash River search is definitely tied into Richard Allen being arrested. I think all of the memorial stuff was taken down because it possibly scares people and prevents people from enjoying the trails. Maybe. I can see how it would have that kind of impact. Well, then do something else. Before you remove that, do something else. Anyways, put up something, that's a little bit more appealing to look at. Ruckus, do you believe our RA is bridge guy, and why? Honestly, I'm still puzzled. Yes, I believe that RA is bridge guy, and for one main reason. Ellie has seen the rest of that video, that 43-second video. And the whole video, he's walking closer to the camera. So they got a better look at him. Now, why they didn't put that out to the public, I don't know. Maybe it was something, I don't know. I don't know why they wouldn't put that out. But they're very confident that it's him. So I'm going with them. They know things that we do not know. Yeah, but I think people freshened it up, Purdue, or plan to, anyways. I'm just bummed out. It was a nice thought. It was a nice thing, but I can see their perspective on how it could be turn people, make them afraid. It's a reminder. Yeah, good sense of humor keeps you sane in tough jobs. I've always had a good sense of humor, but now I have a morbid one, and it's horrible. The shit that I laugh at is horrible. No, Cal. It's you. You're awesome. Fourth, pit bulls. Do you see my question about the dirt bikes? He was probably too busy plotting my demise, Steffa. He's hated me since Jump Street. Probably because I'm a Yankee boy. I'm not welcome in most places just because there's three things I couldn't control, okay? Who my parents were, when they had sex, and where they had sex. I'm a 59-year-old white Irish guy from Boston. I had no control over any of those three things. But I moved when I turned 18. I really haven't been back since. I just talk like a retard. It's not my fault. Jari, I think Florida must sit right on top of hell. It's so hot. You are absolutely right. It's very hot here. You sweat coming out of the shower. It's crazy. Oh, so he saw your question, Stefan. He just decided not to answer it. How you like that? I did notice you were here. I'm kind of multitasking. Who did you miss? Oh, Jinxie. How could you miss Jinxie? Good Lord. Those cadaver dogs been calling off on the 14th. It was a giant mistake. Absolutely, 100%. But we don't know why they did it. There was a lot of searchers. They made a mistake, the way they approached that whole thing. There was no organization. And back then, I retired in 08, but way before that, there was more organization to any kind of search. Especially if you're looking for somebody and it could be a possibility of dogs. My question is, why are they calling dogs from out of the state? Doesn't Indiana have anybody anywhere in that area that has dogs? Pasco County, where I work, they have the largest canine unit in the state. Blippi phone images are time-stamped. It's reasonably could be anyone else. Ellie has all that, Dave, and it's so aggravating that we don't. I understand why they don't release it. I do. I get it. But it's frustrating for those of us that want to know. A lot of you guys want to know for the right reasons. You're all about the girls. It's not selfish, but they still can't tell anybody. He's at Westville. That was supposed to... sorry. He's at Westville, and that was supposed to say 1:30. And he's staying at Westville. He's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. And it's not that I'm a know-it-all smart ass or anything like that, but I work both the state, county, and law enforcement. So I know all three avenues of it. And he's not getting mistreated. Trust me. At all. He's fine. For pit bulls, I was just asking if you were into dirt biking because if your toy hauler name. Yeah, I think he has a side-by-side, if I'm not mistaken. Or the toy haulers are just good campers, to be honest with you. And when you put down the tailgate, some of them turn into a screened area, which is nice. And with the dogs, the puppies, that's got to be nice. It's easier to clean. He's got 4 pit bulls, obviously. Jerry, oh goodness. If Florida's hot, you need to visit the Southwest in the summer. Yeah, come down to here in Florida. Come visit me in August. Tell me what you think. If this isn't hell, you can see it from here. That's for sure. Yes, Cold Truth. Mel's awesome. She's the bomb.com. Just sold the bikes for a 36-foot luxury swear on wheels. Think you had a little typo there. 4 pits. But you're getting up there in age, dude. I used to ride dirt bikes, and once I hit like 35, fuck that. You get sore taking a trip down a trail. One trail, you get sore. Your shins, of all places, when I didn't ride for a while, when I hit my mid-30s, my shins would hurt like a son of a bitch. Those 2 muscles alongside of your shin bone. Yeah, they can do it now, Dave. Yeah. And it's because they're using mostly GPS. And the phones have built-in capabilities. Back then it was a little bit different, but not far off. I'm not saying that the pings are useless. I'm just saying to nail them down. Like, I'm not buying the whole Ron Logan was on the bridge at 209 bullshit. No. And when I say bullshit, I'm not trying to be snarky. I'm just trying to drive home the point that I do not believe he was on the bridge at 209, simply based on a cell phone ping. I don't care what it says on paper. I read it. Somebody emailed it to me today, and I read it. I read it over, and it's evasive at best. They're just trying to get the judge to sign something is what they're trying to do. It's exactly what they're doing. They do it all the time. But with those kind of things, you don't need a judge's signature. That's an administrative subpoena. You only need a captain, lieutenant, or above to sign those. You don't have to bother a judge for those things. Bucket Ross, yes. I was chased through the cemetery once by several nesting. They will attack. Boston Christian, those things are nasty. Nasty. I used to caddy when I was younger, 13, 14, and there was Canadian geese. And they shit all over the fairway, too. But yeah, they'll chase you. I seen him chasing a big dog. And that dog wasn't stopping for nothing. That dog knew better. Rebecca, I think they have evidence, and I think some have been arrested without us knowing, or will be after grand jury. You may be right. That's just another thing law enforcement would not put out. But you think that it would get out. Because people that are in jail hear things, see things, well, then they get out, don't they? And they tell their friends and family. Shit gets leaked. Not just by law enforcement, trust me. I haven't ruled out RL walking up on the girls later in the night. I have not either. Ron Logan was acting exactly like a guilty person, looking for his alibi before the girls were even found and stuff like that, specifically for the time that they went missing and this happened. So, yeah, I agree with you. 4 pit bulls. My family is obsessed with dirt biking, not me. My nephew qualified for the Lettle Inn, but broke his femur on Sunday. Oh, that sucks. I worked at a power sports place in Homosassa, Love Motorsports, and one of the guys there, his daughter, made Loretta Lynn every year. Until she hit 16 and started taking interest in boys, all of a sudden, motocross went out the window. Brother in arms, bro. I got you 6. Right on. Why should they take it down? They aren't making them. No, I agree. I agree. 100%, Rebecca. I'm sure they didn't ask anybody. Otherwise, it'd have been a battle for that. After the Wabash River search and after the fake TK arrest, ISP came out and said no arrest was imminent. But they will deflect, though, David. I think You guys have all seen that now, and they'll use the media. Rolling is all he can do. Yeah, I'm telling you, if you ask me, they're both rolling. The next major thing we're going to see in this case is somebody that they rolled on is going to be arrested. Fort Pitts, bummer, Stefan. My wife raced enduros in the Rockies till she broke her back in '95. That's the thing, Fort Pitts. And you know, if you rode, it's fun to ride. I had a friend that was a very good rider up in New Hampshire. He raced like semi-pro up in New Hampshire. And one day, for you guys that ride dirt bikes, you'll know what I'm talking about. He was jump starting the bike, running along, jumped, bounced on the seat as he popped the clutch, and he's paralyzed now just from that. I seen this guy hit trees, everything else. Tough son of a bitch. But just doing that, jump starting an old PE that he was fixing for a buddy. Yeah, the ballpark is a permanent memorial. Good point. Good point. But I don't think people know that. People like us that go there, everybody wants to go to the trails and go to the bridge. I think the gun was visible in the frame, so he didn't release the close-up part in the cell phone video. It could have been, because they knew they had a bullet. They knew they had a bullet. We didn't know they had a bullet, did we? We didn't know who Richard Allen was. He wasn't on anybody's radar. And then all of a sudden, bam. Now, why do you guys think he stuck around? Why did Richard Allen stick around? He should have took off, right? You would think. Once he's seen the sketches come out, and once he's seen the video, and I believe it is, but if that isn't indeed is him, he's seen that video. Must have started shitting his pants. I wonder if he started acting differently, because that's what they tell you to look for. DC said numerous times, when we ran out of tips, we will hire more investigators and review all the old tips. Yes, he did say that. It's frustrating to be in his position. It really is. Do you know how to say that? Do you know how to say that, town Steffa? If you don't, I'm about to teach you. Dorchester. That town is Dorchester. Jordan, how are you, my friend? Jordan helps me out with paperwork. He got me some interesting stuff from Indiana today that I'll be sharing with you guys about that DoorDash killer. And it's, I don't know what the hell you people are doing in Indiana. Wow, so law enforcement did get a better close-up footage of the bridge guy. Very interesting. Yes, you can see by the video that they put out, it's only like 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds, but there's 43 seconds of video. So he's walking towards them that whole time. And at the end of the video is the audio of him saying, guys down the hill. Do you think Carter is convinced it's RA? Gotta ask. Yes. Carter is absolutely convinced. All law enforcement are convinced that it's him. That stuff should have never been removed. I don't care. People put things out there for a reason. It's something they want to know, act like it didn't happen in their happy little woods. It will be replaced. I hope it is replaced, Holly. I hope it is replaced. Or they do some kind of permanent, marble memorial. Naples, Florida is amazing. One of my favorite places. Yes. I live on the Gulf side, but that's way south to me. No offense, but I see some of the same names with black interests for strong opinions. They say I'd love to call in the future, but they never do. I wish people would. I wish people would, man. I mean, what's the big deal? If we have differing opinions, who cares, man? That's what critical thinking is. Bounce shit off of each other. I think I have shit figured out, and then something new comes up, and I have to go all the way back and start all over again. Because something little will change everything. So you have to rethink the whole thing. If you're not doing that, you're not doing yourself any credit, any service. Coach Kev, I send you a picture of the fanny pack, but enlarged. Oh, you just sent it to me. What are you sending it to Coach Kevin, not me? What's up with that? I'll whoop your ass. If I wasn't afraid of you, I'd whoop your ass. But you scare the shit out of me, Jinx. Like, yeah, say it, account. Or email it to me. I'll say it. I ain't as scared. You guys have to remember, I worked in the same county that I lived in All the assholes, bad guys, and I've met some assholes and bad guys, trust me, knew where I lived. You think I give a shit about anybody on the internet? The dog should have been there on the 13th, 100%, but they weren't. And he could have had a very good reason for calling them off. If R.A. parked, committed the crime all in 2 hours, he was moving quick. Yes, but you have to look at the Idaho 4. 9 minutes. 9 minutes, in and out. Killed 4 people with a knife. Very hard to do. It is possible. Hi, Donna Stone. How are you? Didn't one of the officers have a dog? I think misbehaved, had a short on it. Was it a canine dog or a search dog? Because there is a difference. Not all canines are trackers. Most of them are. Most of them are. Pasco County, I think they are all trackers, but they weren't always. Grimly Focused. Hi. I thought I saw you at the staunch. Were you there? Yes, she was, Diamond Eyes. She absolutely was. She was in a puffy jacket. I think it was pink. She even made it on the news, on TV. Yes, we have dogs in Indiana. I think they said they were all busy. Okay. Well, they were lost girls at that point. They're missing, right? He is fine for sure. Don't know who you're talking about. Yes, join my Discord. My Discord is the Discord of the people. I don't kick anybody. I don't censor anybody. New Mexico. There's just like a buddy of mine lived there. He was at Davis Monthan Air Force Base, so he just retired there. And he said there's nothing. It's nice to live there, but there's just really nothing. Miles and miles and miles of nothing. He was a golfer though, so I'm sure he's happy. Father Time is undefeated. You are absolutely right. Father Time's kicking my ass. They won't let anything happen to him. That's their end then. Yeah, Holly, I'd love to have you on. If nothing else, for all the people that hate you, I'll get a lot of views. I won't fuck with you, though. I promise you that. And I won't let anybody fuck with you. I don't allow people to fuck with my guests. I lived in Winter Park in Pensacola. Sorry it wasn't beautiful in Florida, but I missed the mountains. It was beautiful. Yeah, you know what? I do miss the mountains, but I'm about had it with this. We went from Boston to Florida. Now I want to be a halfway back, like North Carolina. I looked at the Hickory area. Hickory, North Carolina is nice. Wife Lilith, you made a call in yet? Or for pit bulls? I don't know if I missed a Ruckus Call show or somewhere else. When I say no offense, it's like either do or do not. Not pressure to call in is fine. Either one of them, I'll have either one of them on. And you don't have to go on camera. You could just do audio like it's a phone call. With this new program, it's real easy. This eCam that I'm using. And if you get tired of me, tell me to go fuck myself and hang up. But I'm here to tell you, I'm not here to mess with anybody. I'll never do that. Oh, I don't have slow mode on, Diamond Eyes. I'm sorry. Wow. I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah, well, that's the thing, Jordan. Pings, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. It's not a science, but that GPS. Now it depends how many towers. That's why they call it triangulation. Liggett had a dog. Probably wasn't a hunter, But that's why they call it triangulation, because you need 3 towers. That's how you get it narrowed down. I did a whole live on it, on one of my lives, on how all that works. And it was pretty descriptive. They are ferocious. Miracle Hots, how are you? Only people have asked me were people who didn't say what I wanted, so I just said, no, I don't know if it was a script a line. Okay. You can say whatever you want on my show, Holly. Whatever you want, babe. And if I disagree, I'll tell you I disagree, but I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not going to demean you, because you could be right and I could be wrong. I've been married 36 years. I know when to say I'm wrong. Trust me. And then I run. Loretta Lynn's awesome. She is awesome. And that yearly race that she has. I mean, I didn't know there was such a big build up to it. There was so many qualifying heats. I didn't know all that. There you go, wife Lilith. You decide not to. No worries. What I'm saying is I've seen people going to call and it doesn't happen. An observation, not an attack. Yeah, Lilith, you have absolutely open invitation. You can come here anytime you want. Get with Noe. Tell Noe to give you my number. Give me a call. Didn't True Crime Web visit the bridge and test the phone pings, and they were not all accurate? Yes, he did. Now, the question is, I've heard this question arise. Now, I trust Steve. If Steve says that they're inaccurate, then I trust Steve. But somebody mentioned that he used a phone app. Now, how accurate that app is, I don't know, but I believe Steve's results, though, the results he got. Almost got mauled by a canine, was 9, crossing to the cop's yard across the street. Whoa, yeah, them canines ain't nothing to be messed up with. I'm sure that 4 Pits dogs aren't very friendly either if somebody's doing something they're not supposed to do. Do you see anyone big arrest coming in this case? Yes, I do see big arrest coming in this case. I don't think he could have done it on his own. Now, when I say that, I don't think he catfished the girls, all that. Somebody else did that, at least. At least. Kay, what's up? Wife Lilith, what exactly is your relationship with KK? I don't get it. Didn't you say he was going after your daughter at one time? Good question. That's a good question. That's the kind of thing you're going to have to answer, Holly, if you come on the show. Guarantee you. I told Noe the same thing. Be ready. I'm not going to protect you, but be ready. You don't have to answer anything you don't want to, but they're going to ask. Trust me, they are going to ask, and there's nothing wrong with that question. Count, yes, Mr. Steven. True Crime Web did visit and prove that. Yes. Yes, they did. Jinx, you don't miss anything, do you? You're pretty slick. We had 3 dirt bikes and loved them. Had lots of trails behind the house and ran into sand dunes. So much fun. Yeah, you spent so much time working on them, though, huh, Rebecca? If you're riding them the way they're supposed to be ridden, you tear them shits up constantly. Hard to believe someone would have a cell phone and live in Delphi and not have coverage. Agreed. There's one tower that wasn't far from Ron's house, and then there's another one somewhere in town. And you cannot triangulate off of 2 towers. My brother won a Bonds in Canada motocross. He broke a chain and carried his bike to the next checkpoint. Yeah, those dirt bikers, motocross guys are nuts. Holly, another observation is more men call in now that there's been arrests. I don't think they want suspicious eyes, an observation, not an attack. It's very kind of you, this account, the way you're asking these questions. You don't need to, is what my point is. You don't need to, but you're still doing it. I like that. You're a nice person. I think he knew hiding in plain sight was working. But man, I don't know. Eventually, hey, Melissa, how are you? Eventually, somebody's going to recognize you. I don't know how. What do you guys think about his wife and his daughter? They saw that video, didn't they? Dave, Carroll County is rural as fuck and had dead zones all over. Yeah, I can imagine. We have them here in Florida. The place we used to live, I used to get so fucking mad. It's like Osama bin Laden can upload a video from a fucking cave in Afghanistan, and I got one bar in my living room in the United States. What the fuck, Maybe he stayed on the Overlook. He may have. Holly, I never said Keegan went after my daughter. I said someone Keegan knows catfished my daughter, which is also someone who knows Rick's nephew too. Keegan didn't catfish my daughter. Nicholas did. Okay, boom. Cleared up. You know how shit happens, Holly. Things get spread around and misconstrued and twisted and all that. All I'm saying is that a lot of people have been questioning things. And a lot of them you're involved with. So just be ready to answer those. I won't let him fuck with you, though. I'll tell you that much. I think it's possible RA may have used one of RL's sheds to clean up. Absolutely. Do you think RL knew that he did that? That's the question. That is the question. Looking for bullets, case, and staging at the scene, or he's being very sadistic. Now, do you guys believe that that bullet found at the scene came from his weapon? I do. I do. That ballistic forensics is not junk science. I think that any defense attorney worth his salt will have that bashed to hell by another specialist, but it's not junk science. That bullet came from his gun, but they'll probably be able to get that washed away pretty quick. Wife Lilith, is Marlboro Menthol RA? I don't even know what the hell that means. Is a Marlboro Menthol a code name or something, Kev? Maybe he thought leaving work looked more suspicious and it seemed to be working and slump along at CVS like nothing happened. I like that. Slump along at CVS. That seems to be his personality, just to slump along. That 2019 press conference that law enforcement did, and Carter goes directly to the killer, who may be in this room, still gives me chills, man. Yeah, yeah. They weren't talking in that 2019 presser. Okay, you guys have to understand. They weren't talking to a person. They were talking to a profile. Somebody did a profile, probably FBI. Yeah, he probably did have Wi-Fi. And the profiler or profilers scripted that for him. You can see he's looking down all the time. They scripted it. They were talking to a profile, though, not to a person. Did Doug Carter ever have a POI? I don't know. I don't see why he would, to be honest with you. He wasn't involved with the case. He's a figurehead. He's the boss. He really doesn't supervise anybody. That's not his job. He's the boss. He's so high up. What he's doing now is his job. That's what he does. Dave, come on. There's no way Wi-Fi would have reached that far. I agree. But he probably did have Wi-Fi. I'm not saying that it reached that far, but he did have Wi-Fi. But if you're stuck, and this is what I was talking about, if you're going to fight and scratch and kick and scream that he was on that bridge at 209 and you won't accept anything less, then I don't expect anything less than other options on why he would have been there. And I'm not mad. I'm not concerned. I don't have a dog in the fight. But I'm just saying, you got to loosen up a little bit. You'll be a lot happier. You'll sleep better at night. Ask Prof. Me too. I watch over and over again. Whoop. Maybe he thought leaving work and most suspicious, didn't slump along. We already went there. Here we go, Stefan. Me too. I watch it over and over again. DC has a way with words. Yes. Yes. He does. He really does. Coach Kev, thanks for your experience and insight into Florida. Absolutely. Absolutely. Coach Kev and Meow together. He's got the experience, and she's done all of the research and actually has contacts with people involved with it. She's like an encyclopedia for that case, and Coach Kev's experience is invaluable. It's invaluable. Ron Logan said, Ellie wasted time going after people like me that didn't have too much to do with this. He didn't say nothing to do with this. He also said it wouldn't happen again. How would he know that for sure? Are you talking about that recording that people did surreptitiously? He didn't know it. I meant that for Coach. Yes, it's a connection. Okay. Sometimes it's hard. I get behind in chat, and it's hard to catch back up because I'm not too smart. Indy Pam, what's shaking, babe? Flannel shirt guy is Dave McCain. And was he on the trails that day? Because that's what I initially thought, that he was standing at the bridge and Derek spoke to him. So where did he come from? Where did he come from? Because there's been I got right into this when all that was going on, and then boom, he was out of the picture. Father Time is Michigan's excuse. Oh snap! That was Kev. That was at you. I'm glad he's off the Bruins and Red Sox fucking with you about Michigan. I don't do Discord. Tried it for a bit, but I didn't like it. It's really not bad. This account. It's not. A lot of people think it's intimidating, but it's not. It's very simple to use. Michelle O, how are you, dear? Hi, Ruckus. Do you think Florida case is solvable, or is it too much corruption? I think it is definitely solvable. I think it should have been solved already. Corruption is what's causing it not to be solved. But they'll get through that. At first, I didn't believe it. And Pipples was pissed off at me because I didn't believe it. But hey, I didn't believe it. I'm not going to lie to you. If I don't believe it, I'll tell you I don't believe it. Well, then I looked into it. Okay, I was wrong. Yes, he did, Indy. I didn't mean to go right back there. He's a legend. Coach Kev's a legend for what he does. He's a busy man. Busy man. Dave, we have Spectrum here, and it's not that great. Dave, have you ever been? Because I see that you're very active in this case. Have you ever been out there to the trails or anything? I would love to go one day. Father Time is what I used to call Rick. And you said views because how hated I am. That's so funny. I'll definitely talk to you. I didn't mean it like that. I was joking. Inside joke, actually, between me and somebody else that's in this chat. But it's a good joke. All right, guys, I'm going to wind it down here in about 10 minutes. So what I want to do with this program, I'm able to pick out Ruckus, how can you explain that people are so sure that BG is RA, yet people who have known him in real life, some for decades didn't recognize him? That doesn't make sense. Drew Yoder knew him for many years too. I don't care. That's how I explain that. I don't care. I wouldn't even take the time to look into it. Law enforcement says that he is BG. They have more evidence than I do. And you know me, Kay. I'm pro law enforcement until proven otherwise. The pings vary so much, and the rural is probably a place where accuracy is in question, but maybe not. Yeah. Law enforcement knows. I hate to keep saying that, but they know. They got all those subpoenas. They did all that work. They know what's going on. They know what's going on. And Kay, that's not to slough off your question. It just is what it is. I look at that picture that's right here, and I see Richard Allen now because they took him into custody. They charged him with it. And I do trust law enforcement. I know a lot of people do not, but I do. I do. There's supposed to be a fine if you hit a Canadian goose here. If you hit a Canadian goose, they should just cut you loose and let the Canadian geese kick your ass. That's what they should do. Yeah, agreed, Olivia. I don't know how his wife didn't recognize him, or did she? It'll all come out. I still think pings can tell whether you're in Lafayette or Delphi, tell regardless. He wasn't in Lafayette when he claimed to have been. Oh, I got you. Okay. Agreed. I agree with that. Okay. We would love it, Holly. You know your stuff. Yes, I would love it if Holly come on. I don't have a bunch of questions for Holly, but I bet you guys do. I would be willing to bet that you guys do. Yes, please check out Coach Kev and L.A. Wilkes. And if you have not gone to watch his video that he did this morning, go watch it. 2,000 people can't be wrong. He's got 2,000 views already in 5 hours, 6 hours. iPhone app, find my phone. Okay, I don't know which app he used. I'm going to ask him because it's come into question a couple times now. And he's working away in Texas, by the way. I heard from him. He's doing his thing down there with Chris from Mob Crew. Good guys. Boots on the ground. Yeah, they put their money where their mouth is. They're out there working for the families. I love Doug Carter as well, William. Livia, too. That's my question, because until 2 years later, they gave a sketch of an older guy, and she never did. Now, see, sketches are iffy, though. I've never seen one case where they bring a sketch into the courtroom and say, look, see, it's him. He did it. Doesn't work like that. It's just to execute an arrest, to get tips. They use it to get more tips, which leads to an arrest. I don't think the whole interview with KK, let's do KK rat on TK. I don't think LA could pin down TK's alibi and the stomach thing. Also, the DNA thing has to get KK to step on it. Yeah. I mean, law enforcement is using tactics on him. Now, say this. Say the ski mask guy is not true, right? Because Frank Meister called the police department, called the state, and there's no report on it. So if there's no report, guess what? It didn't happen. So that means that those two detectives were lying to Keegan. Now, why would they lie to him? Why would they say that that incident happened? He was in Vegas, so they know it wasn't him. They're trying to get him to give up a name. They're trying to get him to shit his pants and say, fuck, I didn't have my phone. This guy did. That's what they're trying to do. But it didn't work. He didn't bite. Not because he's smart, because he's stupid. He's too stupid. But it worked out in his favor, didn't it? Sometimes being stupid works out in your favor. Any guys in here that are married, don't tell me I'm wrong. Playing stupid works in your favor sometimes. More often than not, to be honest with you. Okay, Olivia too. Neither does anyone else who knows him in real life, including many LE officers. Drew Yoda lived right across the street from RA in Mexico before they moved to Delphi in 2006. Good point. Good point. But how do we combat that, Kay, if he's proven guilty and they show that, yes, that is him? They have better images. How do we combat that then? We'll have to see. That's all. We'll just have to see what happens. 4 Pitts. Innocent or guilty, you always file a fast and speedy ASAP. It rushes the prosecution, and you're absolutely right. Now, why hasn't he done that? Then a good case in 75 days. So why hasn't he done that? They would have filed for an extension and got it with all the paperwork. 4 Pitts. But still, if you're innocent, you want to get the shit done as soon as possible and get on with your life. And be able to sue the county and get paid. Olivia, too. It bothers me a lot. There had to be something that was missed or overlooked by the killer's family. There's just so much in this case. There's so much. And you guys have so much patience. And together as a group, you guys are on it. I'm telling you. I'm amazed. A lot of you guys missed your call and you could have been detectives. Mayo, what's up, brother? Thank you, my friend. Thank you for coming in. It means a lot. Don't forget to hit that like. I think he was bombed out of his skull. Blackout. He could have been. Some alcoholics can function like that. I'm cooking too, not seeing all comments. Sorry if I missed something. That's okay. Lilith, just get with me, babe. I'll do a whole show for you and let you address anything you want. Trust me. I will give you a platform. And it'll be totally neutral. David's an excellent point. And I've thought, now see, this is why you do these little talks. You know, nobody wants to see me run my mouth with my opinion and stuff like that. This is good to let the chat talk and get some of these things. And it's like, whoa, I thought the same thing. That helps. That helps put things together. And then you come here, you figure that shit out. Then you go over to Sleuths, where he actually knows what he's talking about, and put it together. Ruckus Rocks here in Michigan, cell coverage is the same. Drive to the next town and buffering. Yeah. I mean, what's the use in being able to watch porn on your phone if it's going to be buffering the whole time? Yes, that's his bullet. I agree 100%. But can they say for sure? I think the bullet is all they have. If it is, they're in trouble, Indy. I don't think that's all they have, though. They must have something else. Ruckus, what do you thought about TK? I love North Carolina. My son lives in Asheville. It's beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains. Yeah, Hickory's out by there. I think TK's involved. TK has to be involved. He's the second person that was using the device, using a total different language. Keyboard language. Different slangs and stuff like that. Old guy stuff. Why the hell would Keegan keep asking if, hey Mustang, why would Keegan keep asking these young girls if they would suck his dad's dick? That's bullshit. That was him. You won't convince me otherwise. They probably can't prove it, though. That's why he's still walking. Toyota, also a responding officer to the domestic disturbance call at RA's residence in 2016. How would he not recognize him as BJ if he was? Good point. Okay. Good points all. You've always made good points. But unfortunately, your points can't be proven either way. You know what I mean? You're making a great point. Well, why didn't they? But you're not offering a solution. You're just pointing out a problem. Casing is better than slug evidence. Sure. The tooling and the markings from the ejection process, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, guys, 5 more minutes, and I'm going to bounce. I don't like going over an hour and a half. Nobody wants to look at my ugly mug. What burns me is when these predators pre-plan their murders and know they'll be caught, but fight the guilt. Take your punishment like a man. Even BTK confessed. Don't want consequences, don't plan. Absolutely. But look at the Golden State Killer. He said, yep, I did it. Bye-bye. Went back to his cell. Man, he's way behind on the chat. Gotta love us some Marcus. Trying to read them all. I'm trying. I'm going to just start posting them for the last couple seconds, though. Oh, I started telling you guys with this program, right next to your chat in my box, there's a little star. So any questions that I can get to later, I can click on those. But I learned a little tip from the people that make this. If it chat, you guys talks amongst yourself a lot. What do you make of the sketch change? They're switching gears. Exactly what Doug said. They're switching gears. They got some more evidence, so they had to change. But if you, hey Mel, how are you? Any of you that have not subscribed to Mel at Cold Truth, please go do so. Somebody could post her link, melsthebomb.com. But if you have a question directly for me, if you type a Q, a space, and then the question, I can search for the letter Q in the front, and so it'll list them out for me. So I know which ones you guys are actually asking me. Or if you're just saying hi to each other, I can go by those and not get so far behind in chat. So I want to try and get everybody doing that. It'll be a lot easier, especially with guests on. All right, I'm going to start bouncing around here a little bit. Yeah, digital is. There's a lot of questions there. A lot of questions there. But if you take everything that we know, we couldn't fill an ice tray. To be honest with you, it's there's just not enough that they're putting out, and they won't. Who the fuck are we? You know what I mean? But together we can surmise what happened, and we can come up with what's the most feasible and plausible. We can come up with that. We can come up with that. Yeah, I noticed that stuff by mistake, Andy. I'm surprised that I was the first one to see that stuff, to be honest with you. It had been out for a couple weeks. Frank Meister. You guys, True Crime at Marvin Frank. Subscribe to them as well if somebody could post their link. Good people. Real good people. Yes, a lot of the witnesses, Dave, you're going to see, they're going to get tore up during cross-examination. Anybody that lawyers up to, people think they're automatically guilty. Nope. They're smart. They're smart. You are welcome, Diamond Eyes. I enjoy doing this. I really do. Agreed. I agree with you 100%, Kay. That's history. That's already happened. Nobody recognized him. Nobody tipped him in. So that's already happened. Does that mean it's not him? No. Thank you, Discount. It has been fun. It has been fun. I wish I could go faster and talk faster and get through this stuff, but I like to take my time and address as many questions as I can. I think it's his bullet dropped that day. Defense is going to have to give every excuse in the world, however. Yes, that's their job. They're going to try and combat it. They'll parade as many specialists as they can that the judge will allow. The judge will have enough of that shit after a while and say that's it. Yes, his channel is great. Yeah, that one he did on Rashid today was excellent. You guys need to go watch that. Tell your friends to go watch it. Tell your family to go watch it. He needs more views, and he needs to get to 1,000 subscribers. He's a good guy. Him and I are going to do a lot more work together because we understand each other is the main thing. I agree. You know, Kay, since Jump Street, since the first time I ever met you and talked to you, I was like, man, this chick's on it. And you are. I love all your questions. You have some very, very good insight. I, on the other hand, have the IQ of a retarded clam. So I have to lean on you guys to get some good shit and put it together. Otherwise, yeah, we'll find out more about this Keegan stuff, Holly. I would like to talk to you personally about that kind of stuff, and then you can say what you want. You follow me? You can talk to anybody that I've dealt with. What we talk about stays between us. I don't use shit for content that people don't want me to use. Unless, of course, you said, hey, I did it. Well, yeah, then I'm going to snitch your ass out quick. Especially if there's a reward. Goddamn right. Who's the guy in the pic? If not, that's me, Ruckus. This guy is Richard Allen. Oh, a bridge guy. Allegedly Richard Allen. See? Getting ahead of myself. She just addressed that, Kay. He didn't target her daughter. Somebody named Nicholas did. But I heard that she had said that as well. That's why it'd be good to bring her on. You know? See, my thing is, I would love to get like her and Rick Snay on. People that don't get along. And let them... Because, I mean, if it's personality-wise, no. No, I don't want that. But if it's because of difference of opinions, yeah, that's what I like to do, is bring people together so we can all make our decision. I found that when we do that, usually one person's half right and the other person's half right. It's the other half that they just can't come together on. No, you're not, Jinxie. Little witch. I know how you are. All right, I am over my time. So you guys have a great day, and I'll see you soon. I'll be on tomorrow night, same time. If you guys want to talk about Delphi a little bit more, we will. If there's something in particular that you want me to talk about on Delphi, send me something in Discord, and I'll bring a little bit more of my opinion and what I have to the live instead of this format, and still answer questions. I love answering your questions. You guys have great questions. But thanks for coming. Please go watch LA's video from today. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. It's a great subject. It's one that needs to be addressed, and it's every bit twists and turns and fucked up as Delphi and Flora. Trust me. You guys have a good night. Don't take any wooden nickels, please. My name is Ruckus. Thanks for hanging out. Please like, subscribe, and share. I'm 10-7.